People who write down their goals are apparently 42% more likely to achieve them. I'm inclined to agree because this was the very first year that I was intentional with my goals, and I feel like that has really allowed me to not only achieve those goals, but also make a lot of progress on goals that I wouldn't have otherwise done if I hadn't written them down. If you're not new to the personal development space, then you've probably heard this statistic like a million times. And if you've never heard this statistic before, it sounds really crazy, right? So with that being said, today I want to talk about how I'm changing my life in 2024, and I'm going to tell you all of the goals that I plan on achieving in order to do that. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to be talking in depth about my goals, and I'm also going to be talking a little bit about how I plan to achieve those goals. But next video is going to be my entire Notion setup for 2024, and I'm going to have a template for you all, so I highly recommend that you stick around for that video as well. Last thing that I want to say before we begin, I'm going to try to start proactively mentioning in these types of videos that I am neurodivergent. So some of the mannerisms, some of the things that I do, and probably some of the goals that I set for myself may not make sense to everybody. So I just ask that you be kind and patient with me, and also keep in mind that because I am neurodivergent, I do have to work a little extra hard on things, which is actually good for you because I try to make sure that my systems are as seamless and easy to use as possible. So with that out of the way, let's get into my 2024 goals. So my theme for 2024 is to manifest my dream life while building confidence, kindness, and acceptance of myself. 2023 was the year that I found out I was neurodivergent, and since finding this out, I have really tried to be more kind to myself because I know that there are a lot of things that I can't control when it comes to my productivity and just the way that I do everything, honestly. And what I figured out is actually that the more kind to myself that I am, the more likely I am to achieve my goals. So what that usually means is if I skip a day or if I don't achieve my goals, I don't completely give up on them. This would usually happen when I'm like comparing myself to other people. It's like, why can't I achieve these goals? But ever since I have stopped doing that and understood myself a lot more and was kind to myself, that's when I actually made a lot of progress and achieve some of my goals. So that's why I've made this my theme for 2024. This doesn't mean that I'm gonna allow myself to slack off on everything. It just means that I know that I can achieve my goals as long as I am kind and confident and accepting of myself. So now let's get into my actual goals, and I have 22 of them. This might change throughout the year. I feel like a year is a really long time to be setting goals, but for now, these are my 22 goals for 2024. I've separated these goals into 7 different categories, so we're gonna go through each category and talk about each goal. First category is personal goals, and my first personal goal is to learn Portuguese. For anyone who's new here, both my best friend and my partner are Brazilian, so I will be learning Brazilian Portuguese. And also for my Brazilians, the accent that I'm probably gonna learn is a Sao Paulo accent. I actually don't know what the accent is called, but that's the accent that I'm gonna go with. Another reason why I wanna learn Portuguese is because language learning and learning about different cultures is one of my passions. I do know French on a conversational level as well. It's not something that I actively practice though, because I don't really know anyone who speaks French. But since my best friend and my partner are both Brazilian, I feel like I'm gonna get more use out of Portuguese than I will with French, obviously. I also have a huge surprise for March, which I know is probably a long time from now, but if you wanna stick around, please do. Or if not, check back in March and see where I'm at with Portuguese. My second personal goal is to declutter the entire apartment. A couple of years ago, I moved into this apartment, which my partner was already living in. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, and neither of us had ever really decluttered any of our stuff before I moved in. So ever since then, our apartment has been super cluttered. Granted, it is a very small apartment, so I don't really blame us for that, but we really do need to declutter, and hopefully by the end of 2024, we'll be ready to move somewhere bigger. And so by then, in decluttering our apartment, it'll hopefully be easier for us to move anyway. My third personal goal is to do a digital declutter. I don't know about you, but I have so many photos and videos on my iPhone. My iPhone storage is constantly getting full, and I do have Google Photos as well, but that has also filled up with clutter, and all of this clutter dates back to like 2015 or so. So I just want to go through all of those photos in not only my iPhone but also my Google Photos and really just like delete everything that I don't need. Those are probably the two most important things that I want to declutter out of like my digital space. My third goal is to read slash unhaul all of my unread books. So you can't really see it right now because of the Christmas tree, but I have a bookshelf here and it is completely filled with books. I actually used to be really good about reading the books that I bought, but before I met my partner, somebody actually gifted me 30 books. It was an anonymous person who just went on my Amazon wishlist and bought like half of the stuff on there. And so ever since then, I've been struggling to read everything that is unread on my bookshelf. I would say that this is kind of a good problem and a bad problem to have. Good because obviously the more the merrier. I definitely want to read all of these books, but this is kind of bad for me because I tend to buy books impulsively and read them right away. So the new books that I keep buying keep getting read, and then the old books from before keep getting neglected. So yeah, I really need to either read or unhaul all of those books. And then the last personal goal that I have written on here is read 50 books. This actually isn't an ambitious goal for me. I have read more than 50 books in past years, but I really just want to like enjoy the books that I read, so I don't want to make it like a super high goal for myself. But 50 books is about a book a week. It's a little less than a book a week, so yeah, that's definitely doable for me. My next category of goals is health and wellness, and these are actually the most important goals for me. This year I really want to prioritize health because I feel like it will be a domino effect into other areas of my life. And I want to say too that this is not only physical health, but it is also mental health. So these are the goals that are going to help me prioritize my health. And the first goal in this section is to create a meal plan with Alex. So as you might have guessed, I am super into Notion. I've made a bunch of different trackers and templates in the past, and now I really want to create a meal plan that will make it super easy for us to cook at home. I don't personally cook the food, but I try to make it as easy as possible for my partner to cook. And what that has involved in the past is me making sure that all the dishes are clean before my partner starts cooking. And so what I want to do in the beginning of 2024 is to make things much easier for him by creating a meal plan and a grocery list for him. What I was planning on doing was to make like a weekly meal plan and then also have like a bunch of recipes. And within the recipes, they're gonna have all of these ingredients associated with them. So when you add the recipe to the weekly meal plan, it'll automatically generate like a grocery list for you. That's what I wanted to do. And then also I was thinking like maybe the Notion page could give a couple of recipe suggestions depending on the ingredients that you have already selected. But that's kind of thinking a little bit far ahead. That's basically what I wanted to do. And also I should have mentioned this before. The purpose of this goal is to make more meals at home and to make sure that those meals are healthier. Like I said, I'm not the one who cooks them, but this is just a way for me to make things easier for both of us. Next habit in health and wellness is to start a fitness habit. Out of all of my goals for 2024, this one is probably the most important one. In the past, I've really struggled with maintaining a fitness routine, but this year I am really making this a priority. Like I said earlier, this is gonna be a huge domino effect into other areas of my life. And also since I'm neurodivergent, this will help me a lot with my symptoms. I really struggle with starting things, and I feel like having a fitness habit will help to mitigate that. I know it might not make sense to some people, but exercise is really helpful for people like me. I actually have started this habit. I've been doing daily walks. I feel like walking a little bit every day is a great way to get started on a fitness habit. And once I've built up that consistency, I'm hoping that maybe in the future I can do a little bit more of a challenging workout. Next health and wellness habit that I want to implement in 2024 is to have a morning routine. This one seems like kind of a small thing, but for me, it's gonna be really huge. And the reason why is because I personally thrive on routine. I feel like if I have a morning routine, all of the habits in my morning routine will be things that I don't even really have to think about anymore. I hope that makes sense. I know that a lot of people talk about making habits and stuff, and for me it is a little bit extra hard, but I know that once it is a habit, it'll just be something that I don't even think about anymore. I haven't had a morning routine in a while because of school and like how crazy my schedule was, but now that my life I would say is pretty consistent, I feel like now is a really great time to start a morning routine. Next health and wellness goal is to go to therapy. I don't want to go into too much detail about this, but just know that I really want to prioritize my mental health in 2024. And then the last health and wellness goal that I want to do in 2024 is to prioritize self-care. So not only will this involve all of the other health and wellness goals that I've talked about already, but what makes this goal kind of different from the other ones is that I really want to prioritize prioritize myself. So what that will involve is me taking time for myself, ensuring that the things that I'm doing are not driven by external factors, making sure that I don't get burnt out, and that's all I can think of right now. But definitely things that I can do to make sure that I am prioritizing myself. But yeah, I feel like this will make a really huge impact for the same reasons that I've been saying for these past few goals. Next is my financial goals, and I actually only have 2 financial goals. I currently don't have a job yet, so everything is still kind of up in the air as to what I can and what I can't do. But the only 2 goals that I have in here is basically the first things that I plan to do once I get a job. And the first thing that I want to do is buy a car. I currently do not own a car right now. I don't really need to own a car, but definitely once I get a job, I'm gonna have to commute. And so I need to get a car. And what that will obviously involve is saving up for a down payment and doing a lot of research on what kind of car I want to buy. Also, I do have a weird obsession with cars. I am a car person, so I don't really need advice on this. I already know like how to buy a car and stuff. But yeah, definitely a huge priority once I get a job. The next financial goal that I have is to build an emergency fund. I don't feel the need to say how important this is. You just never know when life is gonna happen, and you're gonna need to be able to afford when something happens. I don't know what it's gonna be. Maybe your car breaks down, maybe you get sick or something, I don't know. But I definitely need to build an emergency fund once I get a job. Okay, next category is relationships, and I have 3 goals in this category. First goal is to make a new friend. The reason why I have this goal as a 30-year-old is because all of my friends have moved away. I used to be in the military, so that naturally happens when you're in the military. It's not that I'm not friends with them anymore, it's just that they live far away, and I would really love a friend that lives close to me. Somebody that I can hang out with all the time, has the same values as me, hopefully like another content creator friend, because I don't have any content creator friends. Whoever this person is, I'm hoping that I can make a friend in 2024. I wouldn't say this is like a huge priority of mine, but this is something that I would really love to happen. I already have close people in my life, but I just feel like this will really make me so much happier. Next goal in my relationships category is to show more appreciation of Alex. So there's nothing wrong with me and Alex's relationship, but I feel like since I don't have a job, I can't buy him gifts. And not only that, I can't pay for dinner. I can't surprise him with taking him somewhere. And so in 2024, whether or not I get a job, I really want to show Alex that I appreciate him. He has done so much for me, and he knows that I appreciate him, but I just feel like I don't show it enough. There's probably a ton of different ways that I can show him that I appreciate him without having to spend money, but yeah, I definitely want to do this in 2024. And then the last goal in relationships is to spend more time with friends and family. Like I said earlier, I don't have any friends that live close to me. I do have a cousin that lives about 30 minutes away, and then my brother lives like 45 minutes away, but I definitely still want to spend more time with them, probably hang out with them like once a month or something. Something that I really do not want to happen is to grow apart from my friends and family, and so to prevent that from happening, I definitely want to spend time with them. Next is my career goals, and like I said, I don't have a job yet, so there are only 2 goals in this category, but the first goal is to improve confidence in coding. For those who don't know me, I am trying to get a software engineering job, and I feel like even though I've graduated with my computer science degree, I feel like my confidence in coding is not that good, or at least these past few months I really haven't been feeling like my confidence is that good. And I actually have started on this goal because this is something that I really need to fix right away in order to get a job. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I just really want to get more confident in coding so that I can be more confident in applying for jobs and interviewing for jobs. It'll just help me a lot in finding a career for myself. My next career goal is to learn a new technical skill. I have so many options with this one because there are so many things that I feel like would help me. I kind of want to learn JavaScript, but I already know Python, which are both scripting languages, so I don't know if JavaScript will really help me. I really want to figure out what technical skill that I actually want to learn and kind of stick to that for 2024. And I feel like this will also help me in finding a job. I also feel like part of the reason why I'm also not very confident in coding is because I don't know enough skills. I feel like if I learn probably like one more, I will be a little bit more confident in coding. But yeah, that is definitely something that I really need to work on to get confidence in getting a job. And I want to clarify too that I feel like I'm already ready to get a job. Maybe my confidence isn't there yet, but I know whatever job that I get, it's gonna be really easy for me to learn how the job works. So because of that, I feel like I'm just ready for anything, honestly. Next category is travel, and there are 2 goals in this category. The first goal is to travel to a new city. So any new city in the United States, I definitely want to visit somewhere new. I've been wanting to go to New Orleans for like the past 5 years, and I don't know why I haven't gone yet. but I really want to go this year. But any other new city will count toward this goal. I don't have a preference. I mean, I do have a preference, but any other city will count toward this goal. And then my next travel goal is to travel to a foreign country. This could be any foreign country, even if I visited them already. I just really love traveling. Like I said, I really love learning about different cultures. And so naturally, this is a huge goal of mine. Definitely one of the biggest goals on here, honestly. Last category that I want to talk about is YouTube. So I made this its own separate category because I feel like there are a lot of goals that you can set for yourself if you have a YouTube channel or if you're a content creator. But the first goal that I have in this category is to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Currently, I'm at 639 subscribers, but I am filming this ahead of time, so by the time that you're watching this, there will probably be a little bit more subscribers. But I'm already more than halfway done with this goal, and so I added a second goal, which is to get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. This might seem like a lot, but I feel like the growth on YouTube could be exponential as long as you have a good YouTube channel. What that will involve, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna try and take steps to embody the type of YouTuber that has 10,000 subscribers. I don't know if that makes sense, but definitely will try and make this happen. And if I don't make this happen, I'm probably gonna have a lot more subscribers than if I had just set a smaller goal. And then my last goal is to grow my business. This one's another thing where I don't know if I'm gonna hit it or not, but I've added it anyway because I really do want to work on it. But I've broken it down into smaller goals. I call them monthly goals, but I feel like they're just smaller goals. But the first smaller goal is to create more Etsy products. So I have an Etsy store. I sell digital products on my Etsy store, and I feel like I don't work on my Etsy store enough. It's definitely a little bit difficult to create these digital products, but I feel like the more that I make, the more that my Etsy store will grow. And so I definitely need to create more Etsy products. Second goal that I have is to make a paid Notion template. So I have a bunch of different Notion templates that a lot of people use. I feel like a lot of people really like the way that I set up my Notion templates. And so I definitely want to make a Notion template that is worth paying for. Not just something that I make and then I slap like a $5 price tag on it, but just something that I feel like is worth paying for, you know? Like one thing that I feel like is worth paying money for is the Travel Hub template that I have. That template is the most downloaded template that I have currently. And so I definitely want to make another template like that is worth paying for. And then the last little goal that I have in here is to get a brand deal. So I'm not really there yet because I'm still under 1,000 subscribers, but in 2024 I feel like I'm definitely gonna hit 1,000 subscribers, and I feel like once I have 1,000 subscribers I'm gonna be more open to reaching out to get brand deals and stuff. I don't anticipate brands reaching out to me, but I definitely do think that I have more of a sway once I have 1,000 subscribers, that if I reach out to brands, they'll probably be more likely to work with me to get a sponsorship or something. And also I don't want to work with just any brand. I feel like doing sponsorships is difficult. I've seen other YouTubers do it and like have to submit their videos for approval from the sponsors. So I feel like one sponsor a month in the future, I'm thinking way too far ahead right now, but in the future like maybe one sponsor a month will be good enough for me. But like I said, I'm gonna be like kind of selective of the brands that I do because I don't want to be promoting stuff that like doesn't really align well with my values or my viewers' values or whatever. I'm thinking way too far ahead. I just want to get one sponsorship in the year of 2024. But anyways, that is it for all of my 2024 goals and how I'm going to change my life in 2024. I've been talking for way too long. I really have no idea when I started this. I feel like it's been like an hour and a half, but I finally put it out there. I'm so glad that everybody knows now what my goals are. Tell me your top 5 goals for 2024. I would really love to know them, and also let me know if you thought that these goals were inspiring to you. Let's make the most out of 2024. And let's be kind to ourselves about it too. I feel like building kindness, confidence, and acceptance will go a really long way. But yeah, those are my goals. Let me know if you had any more thoughts or if you wanted me to clarify any of these goals for you. And also, by the way, I do like a check-in every single month. I do like a monthly reset just in case you wanted to see how much progress that I'm making on my goals. Anyways, that is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.